Right, let's talk about Tesla door handles. It is beyond words how these things are allowed worldwide with regulators. What I'm referring to here is the somewhat troubling developing history that we seem to have with occupants being trapped inside Teslas following a bad crash, an accident, a fire developing as a result of the electronic door releases not working. Now, those who are keen to defend Tesla on this point will often say now, yeah, but they've got manual door releases, don't they? Just use the manual door release. The thing is, the last bad accident that took place and people got trapped inside a Tesla, which unfortunately resulted in the loss of life of 4 passengers, this was a Model Y Tesla. Now, some of these don't even have manual door releases on the rear doors, which is just mind boggling. And those that do have manual door releases, it is the most confusing process for someone who has just been involved in a bad accident to try and move a mat out the way, pull a bit of plastic tab out, and then pull this release. For me or you sat here now, yes, we may manage it, but try that after you've been involved in an accident. Maybe you're just regaining consciousness, the cabin's filled with smoke, the fire's biting at you. It's simply not going to happen. I'll also include a video of that process in this video, by the way, just showing you what a convoluted process it is to try and get one of these doors open on a Model Y if you're lucky enough to have the manual door release. Anyway, let's ground ourselves with the article first of all, then we'll have a bit of discussion on it. So this refers to the last accident wherein 4 passengers were sadly killed in a burning Tesla after the electronic doors seemingly wouldn't open. So 4 people were killed in Toronto after the Tesla they were riding in crashed into a pillar and burst into flames. We also covered this in a separate video, by the way. I'll add that in the description below. You can go and check that out after this video if you like. A 5th rider, an unidentified woman in her 20s, narrowly survived the crash after a bystander smashed open a window, allowing her to escape the burning vehicle. According to the heroic bystander's account, the Tesla Model Y's electronic doors may have been at fault and explain why the passengers were trapped inside the electronic vehicle. You couldn't open the doors, the rescuer, Rick Harper, told the Toronto Star in a new interview. I would assume the young lady would have tried to open the door from the inside because she was pretty desperate to get out. Harper added that he didn't realise there were others trapped inside because the smoke was so thick. I don't know if that was the battery or what, Harper said, but she couldn't get out. Terrifying. Police said the crash, which took place on October 24th, occurred after the driver lost control of the vehicle, struck a guardrail and then slammed into a pillar, per the CBC, catching fire upon impact. Authorities are still investigating the crash and fire, but the details we have so far implicate to some degree the electronic doors used by Tesla and other automakers which require power to open. The Elon Musk owned automaker has a troubling history of owners getting locked in their cars without power. Some of these cases may be down to user error since most Teslas come with a manual release lever. Now we're going to pause there and let me just show you the process that's involved for someone just involved in an accident, smoke everywhere, fire biting at you. This is what you need to do to escape if you're lucky enough to have a manual door release.
If you ever get caught back here and you can't get to the front seats to get out, and for some reason you can't kick out the windows.
Imagine saying to your 93-year-old mother, if you can't kick out the windows, just climb through.
The last solution
is to reach down into the storage compartment. I have a light here conveniently, so I'm going to show you where this lever is at. First glance, you can't really see it, but if you reach towards the back here, there's a tab that you can pull on right there to lift this cover, this protection cover off. Okay? So you just remove it like that. And you probably want to...
What this cover is for? Well, that's where the hidden lever is at. You do need some long fingernails to pry this open, and to be able to do that, you want to pull from the corner of the top side, so facing outward. You pull on this.
I think we've seen enough. It's just simply not going to happen after a bad accident, is it? However, these emergency measures have been criticised for being poorly designed and unintuitively placed for certain models, often requiring intimate knowledge of the car, something that most owners let alone a passenger in a panic, aren't likely to have. Moreover, with the Model Y in particular, not all vehicles come with manual door releases for the rear doors. Mind blown. As Tesla warns in the car's manual, it's unclear if the Model Y involved in the crash was equipped with the emergency feature. Now, this isn't the first time that occupants have died after being allegedly trapped in a Tesla. In 2019, a father of 5 was burned alive in his Model S after the car's auto-retracting door handles failed to deploy, his family alleged in a lawsuit, preventing bystanders and first responders from setting him free from the intense blaze. Another driver nearly suffered the same fate in 2021 when his Tesla Model S caught fire. He claimed he was briefly stuck inside due to the vehicle's malfunctioning high-tech door handles, though he eventually managed to escape. Considering the Apologies, mouse is jumping about. Considering the EV fires are some of the most formidable out there and often take tens of thousands of gallons of water and hours to extinguish, a reliable way of getting out of one of these vehicles in a pinch is the least you can ask for. I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but some things should not be overcomplicated. It seems so simple, doesn't it? And some things should be highly intuitive, like a manual emergency door release. As is customary, let's have a look at some of the comments on this story, see how it's been received. Top comment here: I'll be keeping my manual 10-year-old car on the road for as long as I can. It's got a handbrake, keys to open it and start it, a spare wheel and door handles inside and out. I need to use the skills I've acquired over 50 years of driving to park it, but I've been doing it for so long now, it's second nature. Basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Electronic this and electronic that. People love all these gizmos that always fail. The older cars weren't as fancy, but far more dependable in their own way. Came across a 1948 Chrysler in pristine condition. Beautiful car. Unfortunately, today's parts are incredibly hard to come by and nobody wants to work on them. Baffling how they allow this. You would never be allowed to lock people inside a building where all the doors open electronically with no manual override. Really good point there. It's pretty obvious that a bad crash has a higher risk of disabling door release buttons. Have Tesla been allowed to bypass safety regulations? Now, sadly, if manufacturers aren't forced to rectify this and don't issue recalls, it's likely we're going to see it again, which is just unbelievable, something that is completely avoidable. Now, I know some of these comments are going to be echoing your own thoughts. Please do drop them in the comments section below. We get some really good discussions on videos just like this. Some of my thoughts as well, actually. And if you are feeling this way and you are going to be buying older cars for some time to come, then here's a mention for today's sponsor, Vehicle Score. Now, put the plate of any car you're thinking about into their system and it will tell you the good and bad points for any used car. If you are serious about buying it, then buy one of their paid HPI reports. I'll drop a 15% discount voucher in the description below so you get a good deal on that and hopefully get a good deal on the new car. But as ever, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, do consider hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, and I'll see you for the next one.